file, and I'm going to open this up. Wait for... When I open it up, we get the raw editor then. Okay. Wait for Walter. You got it? Okay, so when I look at my image and I'm looking at this, and I'm going to probably be repeating stuff you already know, but I'm just going to tell you my workflow. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm recording this so I can give it you after. You know, I can give you a copy of it via email. So I'll look at this light section and also the colour section as well. And I don't know if that's in Lightroom or not, but I'm sure it is. Yeah. So in the light, I'm looking at the exposure, and I'll bring that up and down, and I'm looking at these areas here and the areas on his face. I don't want Andy to have any areas that are burnt out. Now, if I'm on my screen, see that plus sign? If I click on my mouse and go left, I can go right in. Anywhere I want, go right in and look. So if I want to go in his eye, I can go right. I'm going to look at his eye now and change the exposure for just his eye. And I'm looking at it thinking, I want to see the dark areas and the light areas, but I don't want it to over-excite. I like, say, his forehead here. Dead important that if I push this too much, it's losing all of the detail there. So I just want to do it a little bit. It's obviously going to go higher, but I'm going to change it back in a bit as well. I'm also looking at these as well. So the next thing I go is contrast, and generally what I do with the contrast is push it to the right, which is giving it a bit more bite. It's giving the image more bite in there. My highlights, the next one down, I always take it left. The reason I take it left is as soon as I bring this down, you'll see more detail in his hair. So watch this. So whites get more detail. So see, it's up here, go down, and now I'm getting more detail in the image, I feel. And this is where I go back to the exposure and push the exposure back up, because you notice on my screen it's gone darker. So I want to push it up. This is actually boosting the brightness on my screen. So I'm bringing it back up and I'm just looking at his face. So now if I push my highlights again, that's where we were. And I've just pulled them right back, so there's more details in his hair and white areas. Then I go to shadows. So this is looking at areas where it's dark, and we can look at his ear. So I want to bring out some of the colours or the darkness in his ear, so the shadows are going to go to the right. So when I push it to the right, it'll increase the shadows, not massively, but it will increase them a little bit. I think the biggest one I move is the highlights. I always pull them back. So I'm going back out again and just looking at that. And when I make the adjustments, I'm constantly looking at the screen to see. So have you noticed how these shadows are massively affecting here? So watch this. I don't know if this happens on yours, but on my shadows, that's a massive effect on that area. So it's almost like these shadows are a way of bringing out them rays of light. Then I go to whites. And how I go with my whites, I always go to the right because I want my whites to be whiter. And my blacks, I want to be blacker, so I take them to the left. So it's making my blacks black. If you look at the background on there, when I push it, it's making it more darker and giving it more of a distinct look. And then that's there. Now, when it comes to colour, this is going to be a black and white image, but I'm not going to do it black and white here. I'm going to do it black and white in Photoshop. So I could just drop that down like that and go, right, that's what I'm going to have. But I like to do it in Photoshop with the Photoshop. So I don't know how that would work in Lightroom, but we can look at that. But I'm going to leave that as it is there. What I sometimes do is we'll play with the temperature. If I wanted this to be colour, and on my screen it looks totally different to that. On my screen it looks really nice, but it's being boosted on there. I'll play around with these tones. If I want that wall to be more blue, I might play around with the temperature and go, I want it more of a blue colour. But that's affecting his skin tone. Look at it, it just doesn't look so right. That looks a lot better there. This bit here, the vibrance and the tint, is this all on Lightroom?
Yeah, it's all the same so far.
So with the vibrance, sometimes I do this with male models. I push it really high up and look at it, it looks like he's on holiday. Yeah, so it looks like he's been on the sunbed too long. But then if I pull the saturation down, you get this gritty feel, you get this kind of, I don't know, it's just a different look. And I always tend to do it. So I push my vibrance to the right and I pull my saturation back down. I don't do it for females, but I definitely do it for males.
Turn his hair yellow.
Yeah, so it does turn his hair slightly yellow. If you don't like that, you don't have to do it. But I'm just saying sometimes that's what I do. If you're going to turn it black and white, don't matter if his hair's yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to turn this black and white because that's what we're gonna do. I do not touch anything else. So what I'm going to do now is open this up. And mine's not perfect, but I don't care mine being perfect because I'm just going to show you the edit of, I've already done this, haven't I? So I'm going to open that up now. And this is where it will differ from, it'll differ the different settings. So when I'm in Photoshop, this is the big key for me, having all of these layers. It's almost like, they call it non-destructive editing. So that's my original image and it never ever changes and never destructs it. It always stays that image. Everything I do to that is just a copy of it. So the first thing I want to do with this is fix any errors. So I'd make a new layer.
Hang on a minute, it's not opening Photoshop. Yeah, that's right.
Right, all right, yes. So let me stop there and you open it in Photoshop.
Yes.
That's right, yeah. Let's have a little minute. In Lightroom, do you just edit the one image and you're constantly changing it, or does it make replicas of it? Because that's what I don't know.
No, it doesn't change anything. You just go back to your menu of what you've done and click a stage before.
Right, so it does it in them stages. It doesn't do it in like layers on top.
It doesn't do that.
Right, but you
It's
can
got
go
masks,
back.
So you can
Yeah,
do foreground and background and then everything.
So are we all going to be in? And I think there is definitely stuff in Lightroom that you can't do in Photoshop. It's a few things I know I've
And
seen.
it's the same the other way around.
Yeah.
as well.
So one of the things I really like having,
It's in Photoshop.
right?
So
So
in Photoshop, then are we following it? Are we,
Yeah,
are we
yeah.
creating a copy?
no, not done anything. I've just stopped. I've not even gone there. The other thing that I always do is have this window. This is massive. So some people don't have this open. If you haven't got this navigator open, you go to Windows and you click Navigator there and it'll have it on. That's massive for me because when I zoom in, now I've got this box, I can move anywhere in the picture on this little thing, and it makes life so much easier to work with that navigator on. See, that's how much of
How
that,
do I get it to go over there?
the navigator.
It's open.
I don't know how you get it dropped in there, but I normally have it there. I don't mind it being there.
Just open on the picture.
Yeah, that's what mine's like.
Oh,
And I don't mind it there, but you can pull it. I don't know how it drops into. If you go,
no.
it'll be fine like that. As we're working, you can do it. Drag it, yeah. You can pick it up and drag it, yeah. There you go. Walter's shown you. Done it? Is everyone at the same stage?
Yeah.
Right. Time. Not loads of time.
So you know in your setup there, like
Yeah.
you've got the navigator screen, then you've got a screen above it. What's that screen?
That's just colours. That it's just opened up with that. I'm not bothered about that though. Yeah. It's more the channels, the layers, and this having this. Are we ready? So the next thing I do when I get to this stage when I'm doing a portrait is look at what I need to fix, as in errors, things I don't want in there. So the things I can see in this that I'm not that keen on is I don't like that, I don't like that. So I'm going to fix all of these little hairs and stuff like that. So I'll make a new layer by just going to the corner and it's got a plus sign.
Hang on, where are you?
Here, sorry, and go into that plus sign, and it makes a new layer there. How I view the layers, and I say this to people at work and stuff, is, borrow this for a minute, the layers are like this, and every time you put a new layer, it goes on top, and if you want to get through it, you just rip a bit of the paper off so you can see underneath. So
You name them.
yeah, you can name them if you want. So this one we'll name, and we'll call it Spots, or yeah, just call it Spots. For females, I generally go in a bit more deeper than that. Yours looks great there, Walter. I like the black suit. So I'm just going to go in and then look at all this hair. I'm going to get rid of all them hairs. And what I go to, and people might know this, is I go to this over here, the spot healing tool. See this one there? Yeah. You don't trip on that leg. We'll wait for you.
No, it's okay. Figure that.
No, we will wait for you.
You know when
Hey?
I followed you to enlarge the image,
Yeah.
and now I want to.
Shrink it. There, that there. Look, in, out. See it look on the screen, on the telly.
Yeah.
On the telly. on the wall. Yeah, so in, out, that's your in, out. Yeah.
Right.
So zooming in,
And we're going to go to spot healing.
and we've got the spot healing here, which is that one. Everyone got that? So this,
Spot healing?
we're here. It's like a little plaster.
Spot healing.
So you click on that, and what you should have at the top of it is this here, which is like, it should be at 50. See if you got that, 50, whatever. When you're on spot healing tool, you get these menus, and you want it to sample all layers. See, it says sample all layers, you want it to say that, and you want it to be basically a soft edge brush or pen. You got that?
Where do we pick up sample all?
So we're on that one. Go to the
Sample
top.
all layers, proximity, create texture,
Yeah.
content aware.
Yeah, that's it. So
Normal.
you want this one's really important. You want it to sample everything. Yeah.
And we're having a soft brush, so drag it away on the hardness scale, drag it down.
Drag it down. Yeah. So when you drop that down there, the hardness, you want it to be at about 50, or what's that? What am I on? 39. You don't want it to be really. What's the name? Right. So we're ready. We're ready with that.
No, we're not.
No. All right. I'm not rushing.
I can't do the first bit.
Right. So if you clicked on that little weird, looks like a plaster.
I clicked on that, and then I've got the plaster thing up at the top, and I
Yeah.
clicked on the drop down menu, and it says no tool presets defined for current tool.
Really?
Well, I've never used it. It's alright.
No two. Just go off it a minute. This one. That's the one. Not that. Absolutely. It's the thing.
I've got that set.
That's all right, that, yeah.
I haven't selected anything that says all.
So, but on the
No,
hood,
we're still going through that.
on the side, it's got.
Oh no.
No,
It's different.
it is different. Go and hover on them, and it tells you what it should be. Don't click this off. You need to be off that because it's thinking it's that. That's it. Well, when you hover it longer, you need to be on it a bit longer. I should tell you. That's on it. That's all. That means all of the layers.
Ah.
Yeah. Right.
This is
So.
the latest update.
So.
That's the content.
This is because I learned something and then it changes because
Yeah.
the updates have changed.
So these hairs that we're going to get rid of, like that one. So we're going to go in. So this isn't going on there. It's going on this new layer that we've got spots. So it's not ruining anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on that hair at the top. Have you got problems with his hair? You must have. Like that one, I'm going to get rid of. And all you do is you get your finger and you draw on it like that, all the way around like that. Let go, and the computer does the rest.
Oh, I haven't got rid of it.
So this one here, watch what my computer does. So that one, draw a line on, gone. Draw a line on there, gone. So let me see what you're doing.
Mine just comes back.
Go on. You hold your finger down.
Yeah.
Let me see what you're doing.
I'm just wondering if that's
Something must be wrong.
It's not that. This is what should be clicked on. That should be clicked down. Right, try now. And then just let go. There you go. So you're just going round, just tidying his hairs up. And you can use this for, say there was something on his face, he had a bit of cornflake on his chin or something, in his beard, you could get rid of it. Like, see that there? I don't like him having his ear pierced. So if you click on it, gets rid of it. And you might look at it and go, that looks awful, and it does. That looks like he's got a bad scab. Yeah? So just go to File if you do something wrong. Oh no, Edit, and then Undo, and it just undoes it. The other thing that I do is use the brackets. You see the brackets on your computer?
Yeah.
If you just use them up and down, it makes the pen go, what you've got, smaller and larger. So actually he's quite well groomed, isn't he?
Yeah, it is.
He's well groomed. So I'm just getting rid of these hairs like that. Just taking them out, taking that out. And it's just copying my amazing wall behind. So that, see that there? So that looks not so good. So I'm being really careful not to go on his glasses. And then going right down, gone. And if you want to go, see that little bit that's on his glasses there on mine. If you want to be really precise, you go in really close. Find his glasses, see them two little bits, and then if you make this really small, when you're really close, it won't sample that, and you'll be able to get it perfect. You get what I mean? So you
say it again backwards.
So you're going right in close,
Yeah.
and then if you make your pen, this circle small, imagine these are all pixels. Because if you do it large, it's going to sample too many. If you want it to go small and big, it's the brackets. You know, the brackets on your computer. Yeah?
Corinthian keys. Is that what you call it?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, are you all right, Sue? Are you with us? Right, so I've got a little bit on there, but I'm not going to spend too much time. He's got a lot of hair though, hasn't he? There's a lot of hair to tidy up. See, like there, this one here, if you look on the screen, like there's one going down this way, but that one sticking out. I'll probably get rid of that, but I actually like the other bit. That there, definitely don't like. It is a bit down to preference as well, this, because what someone else might be happy with, someone else might not like. See, I'm going through things and it still keeps it there. Like I've just gone right through that and it's kept it, and I actually don't mind that one being there, but I don't like that one.
What I'm learning is it would have been far easier if you had a hairbrush.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
and a clothes brush and say,
Yeah,
you know.
maybe.
Hairspray.
Yeah.
And you can be because imagine you entered this in a competition, a judge might not even pick up, and it's up to you whether you want to do this or not. It's whether you want to spend time just tidying up.
He's got a hair on his shirt.
I find this very therapeutic personally. I don't know why, I just do. I find it quite nice neatening up your pictures. Like that hair there, that's massive, that big white hair sticking out, so just take that out. And see how it sometimes doesn't do a... It's weird that it's too... It's the projector that. It looks like there's a brown line.
Yeah, it's got a big hair on his shirt.
Yeah,
That's nice.
this is what I like Photoshop on. It does this better.
Does it? Well, I'm just doing it in Lightroom
So you've got it in Lightroom using the spot healing tool.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
yeah.
brilliant.
It's just that my hand's a bit wobbly.
It's funny, I normally do this in Bridge. In Raw, camera Raw.
Oh dear, you actually do it in It's funny how
Yeah,
it's so many
different
ways
people
to
do different ways.
exactly, yeah. So I'm not going to spend loads of time on this. I just want to kind of show you a brief of what I look for. If I was, like I said earlier, if I was going
I'm
to,
not doing that one.
if I was photographing a female, I'm really more conscious of skin and stuff like that a little bit
He's
more.
gonna
But
have to have the hair on his shirt, I'm afraid.
and I haven't got hair on his shirt because I've got a different image, haven't I?
Well, I'm zoomed in 200, so it's probably a bit excessive, isn't it?
Oh, I've got rid of it. I'm perfect.
You're not like it. Okay, right.
Actually, his shirt looks aligned.
See that purple in his grey, in his eyebrow? Not bothered about that at all because we're going black and white.
Is that from the frame? The
It might be
reflection
the
off the frame.
it might be the light. It might be the light. I'm not sure, but there's something. He might have dressed up when he might have something. I don't know. It probably is the light that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And his shirt looks a bit
So let me know when everyone's ready for this next stage.
Yeah, well,
We've got another. So that's tidying the image up. If he's got hairs anywhere, spots, you don't like anything that's in the way or whatever. So the next thing I do is go to a levels adjustment. So how I get a levels adjustment up is, you see this little yin and yang at the bottom? You click on that, and that's a left click on there, brings up the channel of what things you can do. And I change everything from here, and we're going to go to levels. And if you click on that, it'll add another layer, levels, and I change the name of this to eyes. So this is a levels adjustment on his eyes. So I just change that to eyes. Have you got that? So you go into that levels, and then you're going to open it, and then it'll make another layer, and it'll be called, and we're going to rename it. If you double click on the title, it'll change. You write what you want, and we're going to change it to eyes. Can you do the same, Sue, in Lightroom? Similar.
I've never used a mask. But what I was going to do is I can do a heel and change it on there, can't I?
Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom in on this, right to his eyes. Everyone's following me. Then the important thing to do with these layers is see where that bracket is. So see there, it's on the mask, but there it's on the levels. And then on mine, because this is dropped in, I need to go to this thing called properties, because that's the navigator. That's the properties of what we're going to do here. So if you go on the properties, then you've got this, and this is what I do. I pull this right up, and I pull that right up like that. So you can just see a horrible eye, and then I go to this here, the mask, and I press Control I. Oh no, it's on a Mac, isn't it? Shift and I. Well, what is it? Let me find what it is on a Mac. Hold Control I on a PC. That's it. So it's Command I on a Mac. Command I, and it'll make it flip. See it's black, but if I press it now, it's white. So we're making it black, the mask there. We're all right with that? So now what we're going to do then is go into the picture, go back to Navigator. Oh, we don't have to do that actually, it's there. And then we're going to make sure we're in a pen tool. So the pen tool's controlling this, and the only options you get are black and white. See, the pen tool there, or brush tool. Yeah, so you click on that. Because your bracket's in the mask, this is always going to be black and white because you can only do black and white. Yeah, so it's there. You got Yeah, that's the box. That's what I mean. That thing.
Yeah, yours has only got white on the corners, mine's got white on the
But it's well, long as it's just so it's selected, and then as soon as you select it, this is black and white. So we want to switch this to white. Now there's a shortcut for it. I think it's Z. No, it's not. Let me go off here. It's because I normally use it in a. Is it that? No, forget that. If we just flick it with this, because I don't know what it is on the Mac. So we want it to be white, and then we've got the pen, and now we're going to draw on his eye. And we're going to draw all on his eye. Make sure the pen tool's got a feathered edge.
What tool have you selected,
What
sorry?
colour are you on?
Pen.
Pen
Oh,
tool.
not pen, but brush.
Brush tool.
Brush tool. I always call it a pen.
I haven't got a black and white.
You will have if you're on your bracket. So if you go on pen,
Yeah.
click on that. You want it?
Yeah, I was on it.
Yeah, and then where's your black and white? There.
Oh, blooming heck. Could
I
we
know
make
you're-
it any smaller?
I know. And you want it white, it's fine. It's on white, and then if you go to draw on the eye, and make it smaller. That's it, yeah.
Sorry, Justin, I'm just behind how to reload the image. Close it, save it, reload it. So
Oh,
you're on
really?
the pen.
So you're on the pen, yeah?
Yeah.
Just want a pen tool, and then you're making the
Sorry, is it brush or pencil?
brush.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, your thing's on white, and then we're going to draw on the eye and make his eye look really odd. Like that. Go to the other eye. Draw on that one. You can do it just as long as you're not going on his eyelids, but you're covering his eye like that. If you
Nothing's
draw
happening here, mate. Not that mask on, got it.
white, yeah. Are you clicking as you do it? Yeah. It's on a capacity, change that to 80. Oh, your flow's on 5. You need that to be on
Yeah.
full.
I've just done it.
Now it'll work.
Still not happening.
Change that up to full as well.
That's the right colour, isn't it? You said colour.
Yeah, white, pen. See what's going on.
Mm.
I can't see when you look. Because you can do it just by raising the exposure on that.
That's what I'm doing. Except
Mine is on the top of mine a minute.
Just-
So mine's at, no, let me just say what these are. So flow's at 100, opacity's at 100, mode's in normal. What mode are you in normal?
Do you use Photoshop on this?
Not really. Justin, I need your assistance when
Go on.
you're finished.
Okay, I'm just trying to see why
Yeah.
Neil's not getting this working.
See that sample all there?
Yeah,
Where's it
I've
gone?
had people trying
it's
to
moving you on.
So I've written down how to do specific things and I can only do this.
You shouldn't be doing
It's
anything.
easy that.
Mine's on smoothing on 100. Let's see what you. No, mine's smooth. Press that smoothing.
Lost. Could I just? I don't
Click
know, I'd
wrap
like
this.
to close the image down the road.
Yes.
Yeah,
Put
someone
it down.
down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Wide.
To what? What we're clicking on?
Smoothing options.
Make you so
Click on that, see what
go over
happens.
his eyes.
That's what I'm doing. See if we've got-
What's your issue?
Done
It's not drawing on it.
No.
That's Neil's.
It's not doing it.
I don't understand why I can do that.
Go around design, just do the exposure.
Now then, Justin, if I drop off of that layer,
Yeah.
if I come off that layer and go on that layer, it's doing it.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so you don't want that on. It will work like that, but we want it. Can I just look at the computer a second? And just see what.
Yeah, he's having the same issue. Yeah, yeah. Nothing.
Most of you just remind you the one that does it right. And somebody else is not as you do.
It won't work like that.
Yellow tinge.
Can I just have a look at
But
the
it's not on
your shirt. It's
Well,
actually
it's got a
skin
white
colour.
shirt on.
It's a white shirt on mine, but the thing is, it's changed his skin colour.
But when you do it to black and white,
It won't match that.
Opacity's right, that's right. I feel like it's got a lock on it or
Should this be on normal?
Yeah, it should be on normal, that tiny opacity fill. It's weird how when you do it yourself, it's just always working. That's on normal. Opacity, that's correct.
And yours work okay?
Yes.
Why can't you change that last? It's fooled me. That's locked, that's locked. Click on there. So if we change it, it goes. Oh yeah, it's working. You just didn't change it.
So,
Right. So what's happened is people have not we've missed a step. So let's just delete that.
What, delete that layer?
Yeah. So we missed a step of what we did. That's why it's not working, and I'm baffled. So if you go back to where you were, press levels. You've got to make the change. Otherwise, you won't see the change. So you've got to really push it up and make it a mess. So look what I've done. So you go onto your levels again. You've got your levels one. This is what.
So you've got the spots.
So yeah. So go to the thing and bring the levels to the next one there. Press on that. And then go to levels. And then change the levels. Otherwise, you won't see the change. No, you've done it wrong again. Change the levels, go to levels, make a change, because otherwise you won't see it.
Any change?
Yeah, make it like I did. I made it a mess, a complete.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, just bring it really massively over so it looks awful.
All right. Okay.
It's on purpose you do this. You make it like dead bright, then you go onto there, and then invert it, and you'll see the reason why I'm doing it. So look at the way my eyes are on Andy now. So he looks like he's some kind of superhero. But then what you do is you go to them levels adjustments and you change it back. The only reason I make it really horrible is so that you can see where you're painting. Do you get what I mean? So when you paint, you can see, right, I've covered his eyes. And I've not quite covered his eyes there. See that bottom bit there in the corner? I'm going to go through this a bit slower. See there, I've missed a bit of his eye. And that's the only reason I make his eye look awful, because I want to be able to accurately see exactly where I'm painting his eyes to look like he's a superhero. Working for you now? So I'm in here. If I change that round again, yeah. I literally paint the whole eye, and then when I go on to the properties again here, then I can just make the adjustment to make it. Where's the?
You paint over the pupil as well.
Yeah, paint over the whole lot. So now, what that's allowing me to do now is have complete control over the level of his eye. So if I zoom out now, see his eyes there. If I click this off and on, look at that. That's a massive improvement on his eyes.
When you went back to levels then, after when we've got to this stage, and what did you do? Knock it off?
Pull it down now. Pull it down to what you think it'd be like, and his eyes should go up, down. That's it, look at it, but not that one, you want the middle. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Pull that to the end, back to where it was, all the way to the end, right to the end. It's the middle one you want, and then the middle one, as you bring it down, basically you can slightly boost his eyes and make his eyes look great.
How are you adjusting the edge?
So you get this again, you look on the screen there, so you're on here, and then you go into properties, and you're looking at this graphic. Properties in, yeah, that's it. So you should have a properties window. on one of these. Yeah, there you go. And then if you pull that first one right to the right, all the way to the right, the very first one there, Walter. Not any of them, you want that first one right to the right. This one you want all the way to there. All the way to the right. And then the middle one's the thing that you're going to adjust. That middle one there will then have a really nice touch on his eyes. So you can basically have his eyes black, or you can, and then if you go to the little eye by the layer, you can see what it's doing. Click off and on and go, oh, that's really good, that is. Very subtle, makes his eyes suddenly jump out. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so then the next bit, we're not finished with his eyes yet, it's just a little bit of it. So now we're not gonna do we're not gonna do colour. Sometimes I colour the eyes, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna move on to the next bit. And anything else that's on his clothing, remember I showed you that picture of the guy in the bookshop and his jacket needed lifting up? I'd do exactly the same thing and I call it jacket. So if I go out of this and I look at the whole image and I think, is there any areas that need darkening or lightening? I'll use that process. If I click that off and on, that's a massive difference from that to that. Suddenly his eyes are, if I click on that, look at that, and then look at that, suddenly his eyes look good. And it's not like they didn't look good before, we've just done an extra thing. Right, so the next thing I would do for this is turn it black and white. So I just click on here, and then go to black and white.
Is it a right click on that?
It's a left click on mine.
Right.
And then go to black and white. And this is why I like this one, because you get all these parameters that you can adjust. If I just move, I have to look on here to do this. Pull that down, you get all of them, all of these. I don't know if you get that in Lightroom, yeah? So then you can change this, you can start to adjust how this looks. And we can do that thing again, go to Navigator and zoom in a bit more if you want to get close on his head. And zoom out again. And then go back to properties. We're in this layer, which is black and white, and then we're just going to adjust each one of these. And what I do is I just wobble it and just think, right, what is that doing? How is that looking and making my picture on my screen? And I adjust it to suit what I want. See this one? This one's not even affecting his face, it's just affecting the background, that ray of light. So now I can control the ray of light with, what is that? The kind of light blues. What is it, Cirrus? I can't read, it's so small. I need my glasses. And then the blues are actually changing there. So there's more blue in this light than on his face. And then magentas very rarely change anything, but see his eyebrow on mine, it had a bit of purple in it. So this is where I can change that. So if I want to really zoom in on that and look at what it's doing, it's going to zoom in on his eyebrow. So this area here on the screen of mine is being affected by that magenta. I'm going to go back to it. Go back to properties from the Navigator. This one here. Look at, move it. Lane for some reason, but it is affecting it, that bit of purple that was there. And then that's the colour. You see the purple on my eyebrows. I don't know where that's come from, but you can balance it out. So I could balance that out to not be as harsh. It fits in with the rest of his eyebrow. And what I like about this is the clicking of the eye to see how it is. What do I like? Do I actually like it in black and white, or do I like it in colour? I personally like it in black and white. I think it looks really good. And also, you haven't got to worry about now contaminations of colour with these rays of light, because there's no colours, it's just black and white, isn't it? So we've got that. So then the next thing, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky, is I do my dodging and burning. So if I want areas to be darker, I do a dodge and I do a burn. So I do the light spots and the dark areas. And the areas I look for, I always shoot in black and white anyway, is places like, I'm going to lighten up all the rims of his glasses, and I'm going to lighten up underneath his bag, so he's there. I'm going to lighten his eyes up. I'm going to do this and this all around there. So we will do that. Are you all up to speed with what I was doing? Yeah.
Go on.
So the next thing I do, I'm getting lost now with myself.
You're going to dodge and burn now.
I know, I'm just thinking how I do it. Yeah, that is how I do it. So you press the plus, just had a blank moment. So I press the plus sign and make a new layer, and I call it burn. And this is black. So we're going to be on the brush tool if we're not on that already, and we want it to be black. And if I click on this here, you see I'm over here on that. If I click on it, you get the colour, and I'm making sure it's right in the bottom. I definitely want it to be black. And then on the layer here where it's got burn, I change this bit here. I've got to put my glasses on to see. Keep taking them off to look at the big screen. I change this to soft light. If you go down, you'll see a soft light there. So in that little menu there, which it says normal, you change to soft light. And then you go up to, have we got it? So normal to soft light, and then we go up to the pen tool, the opacity tool, and we're going to change that to 7. And basically what we've done is we've made the light, the way we draw on the picture, we've made it really soft. And because it's on 7, you can't damage your picture like by putting a big pen on it. We're just going to lightly burn in. Are we all there? I don't know where you are. I'm going to have to come and look at some because I don't know. Can you do this in?
I've done most of it. Hang on. I've done his eyes with a mask, and I was just gonna start doing the edge of his glasses now.
The white bits on there.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're gonna be doing now.
I mean, it's obviously cruder than in Photoshop, but it still works.
Yeah. So with this soft, so we've got burn on, so this is going to be the dark areas. So see that top part of his head there, all these bits here, which are dark, and this bit here, which is dark, and his bags maybe, depends what you want, or this bit, like on Walter's he had a real shadow on his bow tie. I've got a shadow here, I'll make that darker.
Shadow where?
There, see, because that's natural. People are going to know that is the frame. It's natural. That's what your eye always knows. I'm looking at Neil now. I can see the shadow off your glasses on your face. It's natural. So I'm just going to enhance all of that. So we've got all of it set up. We're on pen. And then I normally do this with a Wacom pen tablet. And I just basically go around the whole image, drawing on the areas that are dark. So if you look at his nose, and I use the brackets again, and I just draw like that. And it's so subtle, you think, oh, it's not working. And you keep drawing on it like that. I'm going to draw around here.
Just making it darker.
Yeah, just making it a little bit darker. I'm going to draw on see that bit of his mouth, that bit there? I draw on that as well. And then you think, oh, it's not worked. But if you click on it off and on, look at that. Looks like it's not working, but it works. And it's very subtle and round his lips. See that line in it where his lips are? Just draw in there. Little line in there. I'm going to accentuate this shadow here on his glasses. Just go down there like that. And also making my pen tool bigger for there. I'm actually going to make his bags more baggier. Like that. And then if you click it off and on, Look at all that, that's changed. Suddenly his face has got that a bit more of a punch to it, I think. It's all personal taste. Just drawing in there, looking at other areas. So this bit of his head, we go out a bit. So that bit of his head's darker than there, so I'm going to darken that down. So I'm going to actually make this really big. And then just drawing, you actually see this working. And just, because it's on 7, it's dead subtle. You're not going to like wreck. If this was on 100, it'd completely wreck your picture. You'd look like a rat. That bit there looks great. For me, it does anyway. I think that shadow and making it the pencil a bit bigger going out. His ear, you could work on his ear really well. Bits of the hair. So see that darker area of hair there. That'll work that quite nice. Make that darker. And if you want it even darker, you just keep going over the top of it over and over, and it'll just keep putting the... But you're not damaging any of the image because it's on a separate layer.
I think that's the mistake I was making at home. My opacity was so high, it was like...
Yeah, it
looked
it's just
horrible.
It's just subtle.
Yeah.
If I just look at the whole picture there, it's just a subtle touch, and I feel like it adds a lot to it. It just gives it a bit more punch. His beard here, all these darker areas there, if I just paint on them, will make them that much more darker. His suit, see like his suit there? See the suit mark? You can draw on that. I'll tell you what really works well. You want them to ring out. Watch this. Draw on them. You can draw your rays of light now and make them really stand out if you do it properly. You know, in the darker areas, let's just see if that's worked. Look at that. Doesn't even look like it. Look at that on the screen. So I've clicked it on and off. Look at the rays now.
Yeah.
And it's just you've got to be careful how you do it. That's why using a pen tablet's really good. So I'm going to do the opposite now, and we're going to work on his frames. This is good because this is all being recorded, and I'll share it because people might forget. So I'm just going to make another one, another layer, and call this Dodge. DOD. And then I'm going to do exactly the same. Make it soft white and change it to white. So this I'm going to change to pure white, and I'm just going to go to the toilet a second. Pure white and then pass it down.
Oh, there.
I need to write, although watching the VR,
Yeah.
I need separate notes. I'll forget this in a month's time. I think you're doing it all the time.
Yeah, well, that's just if I don't do it.
Yeah.
It's good. Let's see, I did in Photoshop.
All right. Oh, he's not. I guess he's got to do something to not show us that.
Yeah.
Right.
I did that.
Is that all sorted with you?
Yeah.
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 So dead simple. So what are you?
I've got the Dodge layer.
Yeah.
I clicked on the white one. Still doing that.
You need to switch that to. Oh no, wrong. Yeah, you're on that, and then if you click on the pencil there at the top. Yeah, that's right. And then if you click on here, double click on that. One of the.
Ah,
Yeah, double click on the rubbish. It's
Oh, this. See that arrow?
Oh,
Flips between the two.
not doing anything.
oh yes, it's done it.
You do, yeah, undo that, and also your things really, you need
Oh.
to change that. So you need to be got size, but hardness, you need to be softer than that.
Is that that way?
Yeah.
And what size?
Well, your size you're going to change with brackets, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to change that. So I undo this bit,
So how do you undo?
just go to edit, undo brush, undo it again. Keep stepping back. Yeah, you've got to keep going. Keep going. Undo again. You did a load, that's why. Keep going. Keep going. So these are all the steps that you get in one more at a time. Right, it's got so you want it needs to be more subtle than that. Have you done this isn't in soft light, that's why. That's in soft light. Yep. It's in soft light and it's at 7. Now it'll be because basically the soft light's making it very, very subtle. So we're on white now. Dodge. So we've got burn, dodge, and all I'm going to look at, because I haven't got time to do the whole image, but hopefully you'll be able to do this, is the white areas now, or is this, yeah, burn, the white areas on his glasses I'm going to enhance. So here, I'm going to enhance all of that. So this is on white, it's at 7, just double checking everything's correct. And on here, it's at soft light. So when I draw on this now, it looks like nothing's happening. And on this bit here, I kind of like the sheen on there. I even like that bit on his ear. And that bit round his ear as well. Just highlight all of that. This is where you could go into his eye. See his eye is lighter there. So you could actually make his eye a bit more lighter there if you wanted to. I'll definitely light some of this up. Increase the bags under his eyes.
Oh, check.
His nose. So this, I always find that when noses, this bit here is always going to be bright white, like that, lighter. Obviously the top of his nose is going to be, and then if we look at what I've done again with the switching off and on, look at his glasses, that arm that I did. It's very subtle, but I know it does work, and I'm going to go over that a bit more because it's like a hard object. And then if I pull out, so I'm just going to look at his glasses, that arm of the glasses that I've just done. Look at that, it suddenly jumps out. Look at his eye suddenly changes. We've already increased the eye, but then we can almost make the bags look more friendlier rather than looking so. And I would go round all of these edge lights. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to stuff like this. I really like doing it. I just spend hours on a face just lightening up every little bit.
I've got this sort of level of patience.
No.
Yeah, so when I do them pictures for the exhibition, I've not even done this yet, but I will do it. Like that bit, I know I could make that bit of the frame really stand out. And I'm really going, my control with my mouse is not amazing, but when I've got my pen, it's like my drawing on a piece of paper. You can draw on it really well. Just look at what that's done. And it's just boosted it. It's just boosted it like marginally. In my head, I kind of feel like it's a painting, and you're painting, like painting by numbers kind of thing, but just subtly. Bring that in.
Yes.
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 Just doing his forehead a little bit. And then I'm going to do, sometimes I zoom out and I look at the picture and think, right, where are them lighter areas? That's really light. So I just painted in there. It's light under there, and it's light on that side of his face. Also his hair, bits of his hair that are lighter, like there. Just paint on it a little bit. His collar and his shirt, see all of these areas there? If I paint on that, it's going to make the folds and the creases stand out loads. So that bit of his shirt that's bent on mine, I can really make it stand out. And then if I switch to, so the other thing is I can do this, now you've got them both on, you can suddenly switch to burn and go, right, I want the dark bit there, and I switch, and then I can burn in, because I've switched onto the lower one. So if I click them off and on, we'll just see what. And the other extra control that you have when you're doing this as well is, you know, in the layers that you've made, so say I burn in and it's too much, just reduce the opacity on the side. So that there, so say that layer,
Yeah.
if you want to reduce it, you can just turn this down and it'll reduce what it's doing. But that's, you know, it's so minimal that I don't think you ever need to do that. The other thing with them white, you were doing this, Barbara, you were highlighting them bits, weren't you then? Like bringing these out. So definitely I would do that as well. Do the dark bit, do the light bit to make the rays look. But don't make them right up here because you want that to fade away, don't you? And then when I've done that, I normally look at the colours. I normally turn this off and look at how that looks and think, do I want to adjust the colours on this picture? And then how I adjust colours is like that thing that everyone uses called LUTs. You know, where it's like just move this up a little bit. If I click on here, I use this thing called Colour Lookup. So if I click on this, it puts a filter on there.
So with your, how did you get to that?
So if I go on there,
Right.
Colour Lookup, the bottom one there. So I'm going to click two things now. So we're going to click on, because we're not going to change it, we're opening Colour Lookup and we're also going to open up Curves.
So colour lookup and curves.
Yeah, so we're going to just have them two in there. And all they are different ways of editing and they work exactly the same. And we're not going to do anything like masking or anything like that with this. We're just going to look at the colours. So if we're on Curves, which is this one here.
And are you going to the curve?
We're going to the curve, yeah.
The-
So you should have that look. You should have it looking like that thing there. Curves higher up.
And I'm looking for colour.
Oh yeah, the colour you just turn the eye off. On here, you know, in your layer where it's black and white, just click, not eyes, go a bit up higher. You've got, and the one that says black and white, turn it off. There it is. Turn it off, and that's all. And now you've got colour. So all of these layers are all separate things on top of each other. So you want to get rid of any, you just turn the eye off. So on the curves, we're looking at, we've got RGB, red, and I don't use that ever. I just click on the colours. So I'm looking at the reds in the picture, and you can see all of where all the reds are all down here. So if you turn around and pull this down, it's going to go green, and then if you push it up, it'll push more like red colours in, and make it wrong. So it's just, I generally work it from here and just look and see if it's making anything that you like. You click on that. So it says RGB, and then you're going to go on red. There. And it's got red. So it's got the primary colours red, green and blue. So say the colour there, you wanted to change it, and you thought, I want it to be a different green. You could change it, and you could change that and make it really green, without changing him. All you'd have to do is do the mask thing and then just take it out. So that's all these are doing is just gently pushing the colours around. I'm actually not going to change anything. I'm just kind of just showing you the curve adjustments that people make. The one below it, it's not as complicated as that. So just looking at this colour lookup. When I go into colour lookup, I change the opacity to 25, so it's not doing it massively. So if I do it to 25, there, and you all got that, run that, Neil.
On the opacity.
Yeah, and this is on the colour lookup, because we are going to change the overall colours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 25%.
So we're on colour lookup, and we've changed the opacity, and then if you look in here in properties, you've got this LUTs thing. If you drop that down, you've got all of these, which are all different things. And if you click on one, it'll slightly change it.
Right, just talk. I've done everything you've been requiring. I just haven't got my options on.
Yeah, so go to properties. That's right, and then where are we? Yeah, you're on that. And there you go. You're on it. So if you drop that first one down, that 3D whatever, and I've just changed it to the very first one.
Tool strip look.
Yeah, and then change it to the other one, and look at the picture on your screen change, and basically you just run through which one you might like. Bleach bypass. This one makes it a little bit warmer. The candlelight, winter crisp, and they're just putting a filter on it and making it have a different look. Can you see what's happening? So they're all little filters that you can pick up. The one that I like a lot is that film stop. Now, if you didn't have the opacity change, see the opacity at 25, if that was full on, look what they look like. This is what they look like. So if I go on like Foggy Night, look at what Foggy Night's gone like at 100%.
Yeah.
But if I drop it to 25, it's just subtle and it works nicely. It's like just a little hint. And you can have more than one of these filters on.
Yeah.
If you don't want them, you just click the eye or just delete that layer. That is pretty much all I'll do to a portrait when I'm doing the edit, is change the colours, do the dodge and burn so that parts of his face really stand out, and decide whether I want it in black and white. All this bit here, let me just move this up a little bit. At first it's dead complicated, but when you use it over, I mean, I don't know what all these do. I only just use it for what I want to use it for. In understanding the mask and that the layer is can be turned off and on like that. And when you save it as a JPEG, it saves it like that. And if I save it again, so I can save multiple copies with different edits on, and all I'm doing is turning these eyes off and on. If I want it black and white, turn it to black and white. Even this curves will affect the black and white. Look at that. So that the colour adjustment is affecting even the black and white that you're getting. Any questions? Loads, but it is recorded, so anything that I've done is there recorded down. So what Sue's doing, and what some of you know, probably know more knowledge around Lightroom than I do. That's basically how that image was created, how I've done it in that process, and that's how I approach all portraits. Other things that I do is I change the eye colour, so I enhance the eye colours. I don't need to do it in this because it's black and white, but if it was a colour image, I might change the colour of the eyes as well. The same colour, but I just give it an enhanced treatment.
And you can do 90.
I've done 95% of it like them, yeah.
And you've done that. And let me see how it's like a different way of working, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Are you happy with what you're getting? Are you
Oh,
happy?
yeah.
What I want from this is I
Definitely.
want everyone to go, I've got some images I can now work on
Yeah.
at home.
If
For
I
that, for that.
go, that's it before,
Yeah.
I can just pan it around. So I've got
And
rid
it's-
of all the bits I didn't like,
Yeah.
I've enhanced that like you said.
Yeah.
I've got a bit more detail out of his ear.
And the thing I like about that is when you've made black black and
Yeah.
you made white white.
Oh yeah. Well, you just do double dinks on the sliders and it
And you
alters the,
Yeah.
and then if you don't like it, you just draw it. It was the masks I've never used before, so I've
And you can use masks in Lightroom.
yeah. So I put the mask on his eyes.
Excellent.
So no, very pleased, thank you.
Right, brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant. What we on? We got. So I'll send this to everyone.
Yeah,
Is there any other questions?
You've got this fine in Lightroom.
So what do you do with that file then? Edit it down, do you? The video?
Oh, the video?
Yeah.
No, I'll just give it you as it is.
Oh, can I copy it onto my stick then?
I do it right now. I'll just stop that now because that's finished.
Yeah.
And you fast forward the bits where I went to the toilet, obviously.
Yeah.
Not unless you like kind of listening.